It is a truth, universally acknowledged, that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However little known the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighbourhood, this truth is so well fixed in the minds of the surrounding families that he is considered the rightful property of some one or other of their daughters.
Netherfield Park is let at last!
Is it?
Oh, Mrs. Long has just been here and she told me all about it.
Ah.
Would you not want to know who's taken it?
You want to tell me, and I have no objection to hearing it.
Mrs. Long says that Netherfield is taken by a young man of large fortune from the north of England.
What's his name?
Bingley. A single man of large fortune. What a fine thing for our girls!
How so? How can it affect them?
Oh, Mr. Bennet, how could you be so tiresome? You must know that I'm thinking of Mr. Bingley marrying one of them.
I think I shall wear it to the ball next week.
I made it. I want to wear it to the ball.
I look better in it anyway.
Lydia!
Ha! Missed!
Mamma, tell her it is mine.
Is that his design in settling here?
Design? Nonsense! How can you talk so? But it is very likely that he may fall in love with one of them, and therefore you must visit him.
I see no occasion for that.
But my dear, you must indeed go and see Mr. Bingley. Consider your daughters.
I will send a letter to assure him of my hearty consent to his marrying whichever he chooses. They're all silly and ignorant like other girls, although Lizzie has something more of quickness than her sisters.
Oh, you take delight in vexing me. You have no compassion on my poor nerves.
Oh, you mistake me, my dear. I have a high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends, these 20 years.
You think that Mr. Bingley will like this hat, Lizzie?
Well, we are not to know what Mr. Bingley likes since we're not to visit.
But you forget, Mamma, that we shall meet him at the assemblies.
Mrs. Long has promised to introduce Mr. Bingley.
No, I do not believe Mrs. Long would do any such thing. She is a selfish, hypocritical woman, and I have no opinion of her. Oh, Kitty, stop, for heaven's sake! Coughing, have a little compassion on my nerves! Well, whilst Kitty is restraining herself from coughing, let us return to Mr. Bingley. Come on. I'm so sick of Mr. Bingley, I wish to hear no more of him.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. If I had known as much yesterday, I certainly would not have called on him. I'm afraid we cannot escape the acquaintance now.
Oh, Mr. Bennet! Oh, my dear, how good it was in you! I'm sure you love your girls too well to neglect such an acquaintance. Oh, well, how pleased I am! Oh, and it is such a good joke, too, that you should have gone yesterday and make us believe you had not.
Now, Kitty, I dare say you may cough as much as you choose.
What an excellent father you have, girls. I do not know how you will ever make him amends for his kindness.
What do you think Mr. Bingley looks like?
Do you think he
how
will
tall
notice
he
me,
is.
Lizzie?
You'll be 5 times as pretty as every other woman he encounters.
If I could see but one of you happily settled at Netherfield, and all the others equally well married, I shall have nothing to wish for. And I dare say Mr. Bingley will dance with each of you at the next ball.
Welcome to Meryton, pray you, enjoy. There is enough merriment in Meryton for all. Mrs. Long, wonderful to see you here at our ball.
Has Mr. Bingley and his party arrived?
Patience, madam. Mr. Bingley has personally assured me of his party's attendance this evening. Mrs. Bennet, welcome.
William!
All of your daughters here, I see. Do enjoy.
Mrs. Bennet.
Mrs. Long!
Oh, I've heard that Mr. Bingley went to London to bring a large party of 12 ladies and 7 gentlemen for our assembly.
Oh, right. I heard it was 6 ladies and 10 gentlemen.
Too many ladies for Lydia.
Whatever the number, Mr. Bingley will be here shortly, I'm sure.
One lady and 2 gentlemen.
Mr. Bingley, you are most welcome here.
The pleasure is mine. Sir William, may I introduce my sister, Caroline Bingley? And this is my dear friend, Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, I do say there are many fine young ladies here. Do not hesitate to ask me for an acquaintance if you wished for a dance.
I do not dance.
Well, of course. My dear Miss Bingley, my offer stands for you as well. I know everyone here.
Thank you.
That is Mr. Darcy of Pemberley,
Oh, what a handsome man.
and so much more eligible than Mr. Bingley.
Oh, do tell.
10,000 a year.
10,000! Oh, what a fine thing for our daughters! Mrs. Long, he's approaching us. He, Lizzie, Niall.
Mrs. Bennet, Mr. Bingley has expressed an interest in becoming acquainted with your daughters.
Mr. Bingley!
How do you do?
May I introduce to you my daughters? This is my eldest, Jane, and this is Elizabeth, and over there dancing are Kitty and my youngest, Lydia, and Mary.
How do you do?
Do you enjoy a country dance, Mr. Bingley?
Oh, there is nothing I enjoy more, madam.
Oh, and your friend, does he dance?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Mrs. Bennet, this is Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, you're most welcome.
Miss Bennet, may I be so bold to claim the coming dance with you? If you are not otherwise engaged.
I am not engaged.
Oh, Jane, what an agreeable gentleman, that Mr. Bingley.
Yes, Mamma. Lizzie.
Enjoy yourself, Jane. The gentlemen are so scarce that I must sit out this dance.
Come, Darcy, I must have you dance. Come. Oh, I hate to see you standing about by yourself in this stupid manner. You had much better dance.
There is not a woman in the room whom it would not be a punishment to stand up with.
I would not be so fastidious as you are for a kingdom.
You will be dancing with the only handsome girl in the room.
She is the most beautiful creature I ever beheld. But what Miss Elizabeth Bennet? She is very pretty. I dare say very handsome.
She is tolerable, I suppose, but not handsome enough to tempt me. Bingley, I am in no humour at present to give consequence to young ladies who are slighted by other men. You had better return to your partner and enjoy her smiles. You are wasting your time here with me.
Mr. Bingley, I hope you will take the time to claim a dance with my daughters.
I shall be pleased to dance with all of them, madam.
Oh, good. And you, Mr. Darcy, might I encourage you to take a turn with them?
I rarely dance, madam.
But I insist! My daughters are greatly admired in Meryton with a good number of gentlemen callers. All except my bookish daughter, Mary. I dare say with a house full of daughters, I will need someone to take care of them in my later years. Come, I assure you will not be disappointed.
As I said, madam, I rarely dance.
Come, Mr. Darcy. You must dance with someone this evening, even if your partner is only tolerable.
Oh, my dear Mr. Bennet, Jane was so admired. Everybody said how well she looked, and Mr. Bingley thought her quite beautiful and danced with her twice to start. He then asked Charlotte Lucas, however, but he did not admire her at all. Then, the fourth, he danced with Miss King, and the 25th with Maria Lucas.
If he had any compassion for me, he would have sprained his ankle at the first dance.
And his sister, Mr. Bennet, is a charming woman. Oh, I dare say the lace upon Miss Bingley's gown.
As was noticed by all.
Lizzie, Mr. Bingley is just what a young man ought to be. Sensible, good-humoured, lively.
But he certainly is very agreeable, and I give you leave to like him. You have liked many a stupider person.
Lizzie.
And so you like this man's sister too, do you?
She is a very pleasing woman when you converse with her.
Well, I do not think that I approve of her. Added to this, the vile acquaintance of Mr. Darcy.
The vile and handsome acquaintance.
He is tolerable, I suppose, but not handsome enough to tempt me.
Oh, Darcy, I have never met with pleasanter people or prettier girls in my life.
I found little beauty.
Oh, I find it difficult to believe, Darcy. You found her sister Elizabeth only tolerable.
You hope in vain, Bingley.
You mean to say you did not find Miss Elizabeth charming?
I'd as soon call her mother a wit.
Oh,
Mr. Darcy.
did you not notice, Darcy, an uncommon intelligence in her eyes?
I find hardly a good feature in Miss Elizabeth Bennet or her sisters. Miss Jane Bennet, I grant you an exception.
She is the most charming creature I ever met. Darcy, I dare even you to find a fault with such an angel.
She smiles too much.
Oh.
Well, I declare Miss Bennet to be a sweet girl, and I should not object to know more of her.
Well, Bingley, it seems that you are authorized to think of her as you choose.
Thank you, I shall.
What a charming amusement for young people this is.
Lizzie, your sister Jane seems to be most agreeably engaged.
It does seem evident to everyone that Mr. Bingley greatly admires her.
Does she feel the same?
That in doubt to anyone.
Remember, Lizzie, that we do not know Jane's disposition as you do. Jane had better show more affection than she is accustomed. Happiness in marriage is entirely a matter of choice. It is better to know a little as possible of the defects of the person with whom you are to pass your life.
Charlotte, you know it is not sound, and you would never act in this way yourself.
There is nothing like dancing, Mr. Darcy. I consider it as one of the first refinements of a polished society.
And less polished societies.
Sir?
Every ruffian can dance.
Oh, yes, quite. Oh, my dear Miss Eliza, why are not you dancing? Mr. Darcy, you must allow me to present this young lady to you as a very desirable partner.
Indeed, sir, I have not the least intention of dancing.
Miss Bennet, may I request the honor of a dance?
You excel so much in dance, Miss Eliza. It is cruel to deny me the happiness of seeing you.
Mr. Darcy is all politeness.
He is indeed, but who would object to such a partner? Sir?
I guess the subject of your reverie.
I should imagine not.
You are considering how insupportable it would be to pass many evenings in this manner in such a loathsome society.
No, my mind was more agreeably engaged.
Oh?
I have been meditating on the very great pleasure which a pair of fine eyes in the face of a pretty woman can bestow.
And what lady had the credit of inspiring such reflections?
Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet? I am all astonishment.
Mama, there's a letter. There's a letter for Jane.
For Jane? Oh! Give it here, Lydia.
Mama.
Mamma, the letter is for Jane.
Oh, shush now, Lizzie.
What does it say?
Oh, it's from Caroline Bingley.
Oh, read it.
Oh, my dear friend. Oh! If you are not so compassionate as to dine today with me, I shall be in danger of hating myself for the rest of my life. Come as soon as you can on the receipt of this. My brother and the gentleman are to dine with the officers. Yours ever, Caroline Bingley.
Oh, with the officers.
Can I have the carriage, Papa?
No, my dear. You'd better go on horseback, because it seems likely to rain, and then you must stay all night.
But I had much rather go in the coach.
Jane, your father cannot spare the horses. They are wanted on the form, Mr. Bennet, are not they?
They're wanted a lot more often than I can get them.
Was a lucky idea of mine, indeed.
My dearest Lizzie, I find myself very unwell this morning, which I suppose is to be imputed to my getting wet through yesterday. My kind friends will not hear of my returning home till I am better. Yours, Jane.
Well, my dear, if your daughter should die, it would be a comfort to know that it was all in pursuit of Mr. Bingley.
Oh, rubbish! People do not die of little trifling colds.
Mamma, I would like to go see Jane.
Nonsense! It's still raining.
It will be clear soon, and the distance is nothing. Only 3 miles. I shall walk.
Walk? In all this mud? How can you be so silly? You'll not be fit to be seen.
I shall be very fit to see Jane, which is all I want. I'm quite determined, Mother.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet's manners are very bad indeed. A mixture of pride and impertinence. I shall never forget her appearance this morning. She really looked almost wild. Her hair so untidy and her petticoat 6 inches deep in mud.
I thought Miss Elizabeth Bennet looked remarkably well. Her petticoat quite escaped my notice.
You observed it, Mr. Darcy, I'm sure.
I did.
And I'm inclined to think that you would not wish to see your sister make such an exhibition.
Certainly not.
It seems to me to show an abominable sort of conceited independence.
It shows an affection for her sister that is very pleasing.
I am afraid, Mr. Darcy, that this adventure has rather affected your admiration of her fine eyes.
Not at all. They were brightened by the exercise.
I have an excessive regard for Jane Bennet, but with such a father and mother, and such low connections, I am afraid there is no chance of it. I think I have heard that their uncle is an attorney in Meryton, and another who lives somewhere near Cheapside.
If they had uncles enough to fill all of Cheapside, it would not make them one jot less agreeable.
But it must lessen their chance of marrying men of any consideration in the world, Bingley. That is the point.
Ah, Miss Bennet, how does your sister?
Still quite ill, I'm afraid. She is sleeping.
Miss Bennet, you may stay here as long as you like to your sister as well.
I could not intrude.
I insist. I shall have a coachman send for your things.
You are too kind.
Do join us, Miss Bennet.
I thank you.
Do you prefer reading to cards?
Miss Bennet is a great reader and has no pleasure in anything else.
I deserve neither such praise nor such censure. I'm not a great reader, and I have pleasure in many things.
It is amazing to me how young ladies can have patience to be so very accomplished as they all are.
young ladies accomplished?
Yes, all of them, I think. They all paint tables, cover screens, and net purses. I scarcely know anyone who cannot do all this, and I'm sure I never heard a young lady spoken of for the first time without being informed that she was very accomplished.
I cannot boast of knowing more than half a dozen in the whole range of my acquaintance that are really accomplished.
Then you must comprehend a great deal in your idea of an accomplished woman.
Yes, I do comprehend a great deal in it. A woman must have a thorough knowledge of music, singing, drawing, dancing, and the modern languages to deserve the word, and besides all this, she must possess a certain something in her air and manner of walking, the tone of her voice, her address and expressions, or the word will be but half deserved. All this she must possess. And to all this she must add yet something more substantial, in the improvement of her mind by extensive reading.
I am no longer surprised at your knowing only 6 accomplished women. I rather wonder at your knowing any.
Mr. Darcy, what is it you are writing there?
A letter to my sister.
Oh, dearest Georgiana, do tell her I long to see her soon.
I did so in my last 2 letters.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet, let me persuade you to take a turn about the room with me. I assure you it is very refreshing after remaining so long in one attitude. Would you like to join us, Mr. Darcy?
My joining would interfere with your motive.
Whatever do you mean? Miss Bennet, do you know what he means?
Not at all.
Mr. Darcy, what do you mean?
You are conscious that your figures appear to the greatest advantage in walking.
Shocking. I never heard something so abominable. How shall we punish him for such a speech?
Tease him, laugh at him.
No. I feel he may defy us there.
Mr. Darcy is not to be laughed at. That is an uncommon advantage. I dearly love laugh.
It has been the study of my life to avoid those weaknesses which often expose a strong understanding to ridicule.
Such as vanity and pride?
Yes, vanity is a weakness indeed, but pride, where there is a real superiority of mind, pride will always be under good regulation. I have faults enough, but they are not, I hope, of understanding. My temper would perhaps be called resentful. My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
This is a failing indeed, but I cannot laugh at it. You are safe from me.
There is, I believe, in every disposition a tendency to some particular evil, which not even the best education can overcome.
And your defect is a propensity to hate everyone.
And yours is to willfully misunderstand them.
Do let us have a little music.
Papa, Jane and Elizabeth are back.
Oh, would they have stayed longer?
I'm sure your daughter's ill health would have continued to give Netherfield much pleasure.
Jane, you look well recovered.
Yes, thank you, Mother.
Would you have lasted a week there? But no matter.
Hello, Jane. Lizzie, the evening conversation has lost all its sense by your absence.
Thank you, Papa.
Well, now that they've all returned, I hope, Mrs. Bennet, that you have ordered a good dinner today, because I have reason to expect an addition to our family party.
What do you mean, my dear? Oh, I hope it's not Charlotte Lucas, Lizzie.
The person of whom I speak is a gentleman and a stranger.
Oh, it is Mr. Bingley, I'm sure. Oh, Jane, you sly thing!
It is not Mr. Bingley. It is my cousin, Mr. Collins, who, since I have no sons to inherit my estate, may turn you all out of this house when I am dead.
Mr. Collins? Oh! Pray do not talk of that odious man! Oh, if only we had a son!
Well, if you will listen to this letter I received a month ago, you may perhaps be a little softened by his manner of expressing himself.
I am sure I shall not.
All right. Dear sir, the disagreement subsisting between yourself and my late honoured father always gave me much uneasiness, and since I have had the misfortune to lose him,
Misfortune?
Misfortune.
I have frequently wished to heal the breach. There, Mrs. Bennet. My mind, however, is now made up on the subject, for, having received ordination at Easter, I have been so fortunate as to be distinguished by the patronage of the Right Honourable Lady Catherine de Bourgh. As a clergyman, I feel it my duty to promote and establish the blessing of peace, and so on and so forth. Your well-wisher and friend, William Collins. At 4 o'clock, therefore, we may expect this peacemaking gentleman.
In point of composition, the letter does not seem defective. The idea of the olive branch perhaps is not so wholly new, yet I think it is well expressed.
There is something very pompous in his style. Can he be a sensible man, Papa?
No, my dear, I think not. I have great hopes of finding him quite the reverse.
4 o'clock? But Mr. Bennet, that's any minute! Oh, Mr. Bennet, you vex me so! What shall we do?
Ah, Mr. Collins, you are most welcome here, and right on time.
I flatter myself, Mr. Bennet, on studying societal standards of punctuality by being neither presumptuously early nor inconsiderately late. A clergyman must avoid the appearance of either.
We have received your gracious letter, and I must answer that you are very kind, sir, concerning our estate here at Longbourn.
I am very sensible, madame, of the hardship of my fair cousins, and I have heard much of their beauty, which I now see is confirmed. But I can assure the young ladies that I come prepared to admire them.
Mr. Collins, you seem very fortunate in your patroness.
Ah, yes, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. She resides at Rosings Park. I have never in my life witnessed such behavior in a person of rank, such affability, such condescension.
It's a pity that great ladies in general are not more like her. Don't you agree, Lizzie? Does she live near you?
The garden in which stands my humble abode is separated only by a lane.
Only a lane? Imagine that, Lizzie. I think you said she was a widow, sir. Has she any family?
She has only one daughter, the heiress of Rosings, and of very extensive property.
Oh, extensive, Lizzie. And what sort of young lady is she?
She is a most charming young lady indeed. She is, unfortunately, of a sickly constitution, which unhappily prevents her being in town. You may imagine that I am happy on every occasion to offer those little delicate compliments which are always acceptable to ladies.
Well, I'm satisfied. Are you satisfied, Lizzie? Mr. Collins, we shall dine promptly at 7. The servants will show you to your room. All right, girls, be off with you.
Mrs. Bennet, I am inclined to inform you at the behest of Lady Catherine de Bourgh that being settled in my profession with a stable income and a most fortunate patroness, I have made it my intent to soon marry. And being as I am to inherit your humble lodgings here at Longbourn, I hope to marry from amongst your daughters.
Oh, Mr. Collins, no one is more well-deserving. However, I feel it incumbent on me to tell you that my eldest Jane is likely to be very soon engaged.
Oh.
As to my younger daughters, I do not know of any prepossession.
Mamma, Mrs. Long is asking for you.
Of course. Elizabeth here is the oldest.
Ah, Elizabeth.
Kitty, make haste. It's Denny. Denny!
Who is that with him?
He is very handsome, especially in his regimentals, or nothing at all.
Lydia, for God's sake.
He's handsome, Lizzie.
Ladies, may I introduce to you Mr. Wickham?
Mr. Denny, are these the Bennet sisters of which you have spoke so oft?
The same. Miss Jane Bennet, Miss Elizabeth Bennet, Miss Catherine Bennet, Miss Mary, and of course, Lydia.
And I am truly honoured.
Good old Wickham here is the newest member of our regiment.
So you are stationed here in Meryton?
Happily, yes, ma'am.
Miss Bennet, we were just coming to inquire after your health. How do you do?
Very well, sir. Thank you.
This is a happy coincidence, Darcy. Do you agree? A pleasure again. Please excuse me, ladies.
Ladies, join me.
Greeting appeared very cold.
Yes, Jane, very cold indeed.
Miss Bennet, would you care to join me for a walk?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Bingley.
Miss Elizabeth?
Mr. Wickham, how long will you be in Meryton?
At least through winter, perhaps longer.
Well, I hope it is the latter.
Miss Elizabeth, you have an acquaintance with Mr. Darcy?
Yes, I have known him for about a month.
I've known him all my life. We were children together.
Oh.
You may be surprised at such an assertion after seeing the very cold manner of our meeting just now.
I confess I was.
Are you much acquainted with Mr. Darcy?
As much as I ever wished to be. I've spent 4 days in the same house with him, and I think him very disagreeable.
I believe there are not many who share your opinion.
But he is not at all liked in Hertfordshire. Everyone is disgusted with his pride.
Well, I cannot pretend to be sorry.
I hope his being present will not affect your plans of remaining here.
It is not for me to be driven away by Mr. Darcy. If he wishes to avoid seeing me, he must go. Perhaps, Miss Bennet, I should clarify the reasons for this discomfort. His father, Miss Bennet, the late Mr. Darcy, was one of the best men that ever breathed. He was my godfather and excessively attached to me. But his son's behavior has been scandalous. The church ought to have been my profession. I was brought up for the church, and I should have at this time had been in my possession of a most invaluable living. I very much desired to be a clergyman. The late Mr. Darcy bequeathed me £3,000 to begin a life, and to provide for me amply. But upon his death, his son, Mr. Darcy, gave my fortunes elsewhere.
Good heavens.
Yes, I can recall nothing worse. Mr. Darcy has reduced me to my present state of poverty. I believe he was jealous of his father's attachment to me. But the fact is that we are very different men, and he hates me.
Stolen your fortunes. He deserves to be publicly disgraced.
Some time or other he will be, but not by me. Till I can forget his father, I can never defy or expose him.
I knew him to be proud, but I never expected this.
Well, he maneuvers well in society.
Mr. Wickham, I heard him speak of a sister. What sort of a girl is Miss Darcy?
I wish I could call her amiable, but she is too much like her brother. Very, very proud. She is 16, about your sister Lydia's age, I believe.
Lydia is 15.
Ah.
I am astonished.
But I believe he will not be much longer for our society.
How do you mean?
It is believed that he is betrothed to the daughter of his aunt, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. She and Darcy will unite the two estates.
The sickly daughter of Lady Catherine?
You know her, then?
Mr. Darcy betrothed? Poor Miss Bingley.
Bingley? That was Mr. Bingley with whom you were speaking earlier.
Do you know him?
Never seen Mr. Bingley until today, but I'm well disposed to like him. He has given a general invitation to the officers for the ball next week in Netherfield.
Netherfield is quite grand. Do you not think, Mr. Collins?
Indeed, Miss Bennet. The art in this hall could almost be compared to one of the lesser halls at Rawlings of my patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
How do you get on, Mr. Collins, with the matter that we've been discussing?
Quite well, Mrs. Bennet. I have entreated my cousin Elizabeth to my first 2 dances this evening.
Oh, splendid!
To think, Charlotte, that I shall have to endure 2 dances with that man. I should have hoped to have spent my dances with Mr. Wickham.
Miss Bennet, I've been asked to convey to you Mr. Wickham's apologies. He's been obliged to go to town on business yesterday and could not attend this evening, though I do not imagine his business would have called him away just now if he hadn't wished to avoid a certain gentleman here.
Come on, Denny!
Of course, Mr. Darcy again is intruding on my contentment.
Sure you can endure Mr. Wickham's absence for one evening, Elizabeth.
But I shall not be able to endure that hateful man hovering about me.
Miss Bennet, if you are not otherwise engaged, may I request the honor of the next dance?
Well, I am... Yes, thank you. Insufferable man. Why could I not give a reason to reject him?
I dare say you find him very agreeable.
Do you not wish me such an evil?
Do not be a simpleton. Do not allow your fancy of Mr. Wickham to make you appear unpleasant in the eye of a man of 10 times his consequence.
This is a charming dance, is it not? It is your turn to say something now, Mr. Darcy.
Do you talk by rule, then, while you are dancing?
Sometimes.
Do you often walk to Meryton?
Yes. When you met us there the other day, we had just been forming a new acquaintance.
Mr. Wickham is blessed with such happy manners as may ensure his making friends. Whether he may be equally capable of keeping them is less certain.
He has been so unlucky as to lose your friendship, and in a manner which he is likely to suffer from all his life. I remember you hearing once say, Mr. Darcy, that your resentment, once created, was impeccable. You are very cautious, I suppose, as to its being created?
I am.
And never allow yourself to be blinded by prejudice?
May I ask to what these questions tend?
Character. I am trying to make it out.
And what is your success?
I do not get on at all. I hear such different accounts of you as puzzle me exceedingly.
I wish, Miss Bennet, that you were not to sketch my character at the present moment, as there is reason to fear that the performance would reflect no credit on either.
But if I do not take your likeness now, I may never have another opportunity.
I would by no means suspend any pleasure of yours.
Miss Elizabeth, I hear you are quite delighted with George Wickham. Let me recommend you, however, as a friend, not to give implicit confidence to all his assertions. For as to Mr. Darcy's using him ill, it is perfectly false. George Wickham has treated Mr. Darcy in a most infamous manner.
How so?
I do not know the particulars, but I know very well that Mr. Darcy is not in the least to blame. I pity you, Miss Elizabeth, for this discovery of your favourite guilt. But really, considering his descent, one could not expect much better.
His guilt and his descent appear, by your account, to be the same, for I have heard you accuse him of nothing particular.
I beg your pardon. Excuse my interference. It was kindly meant.
Insolent girl.
Elizabeth, I have found out by a singular accident that there is now in the room a near relation of my patroness, Mr. Darcy. I shall introduce myself.
Mr. Collins, no, you need to be introduced by someone.
No, indeed. Watch how I shall make an acquaintance.
Mr. Darcy will take it as an insult, Mr. Collins.
Mr. Darcy, I happen to overhear that you are the nephew of my patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. I am most thankful that the discovery is made in time for me to pay my respects to you.
Consider them paid, sir.
Mrs. Long, I do know that Jane will be soon married to Mr. Bingley. He's such a charming young man and so rich! Oh, it's such a promising thing for my younger daughters, as Jane marrying so greatly must throw them in the way of other rich men.
Mr. Darcy is listening to you, Mother.
Oh, what is Mr. Darcy to me, pray, that I should be afraid of him?
Dear God.
I hope, madam, for your interest with your fair daughter Elizabeth, when I solicit for the honor of a private audience.
Oh dear! Yes, certainly. I am sure Lizzie will be very happy. Lizzie! Lizzie! Come here, child! I am sure she can have no objection.
Yes?
Elizabeth, Mr. Collins would like a word with you.
Believe me, my dear Miss Elizabeth, that your modesty adds to your other perfections. You can hardly doubt the purport of my discourse.
Mr. Collins?
Almost as soon as I entered the house, I singled you out as the companion of my future life. But before I am run away by my feelings on this subject, perhaps it will be advisable for me to state my reasons for marrying. My reasons for marrying are, first, that I think it a right thing for every clergyman to set the example of matrimony in his parish. Secondly, that I am convinced that it will add greatly to my happiness. And thirdly, oh no, I should have mentioned that first. It is the particular advice and recommendation of my noble patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Mr. Collins, says she, you must marry, choose properly, choose a gentlewoman for my sake, and for your own, let her be an active, useful sort of person, not brought up high, but able to make a small income go a good way. And now, nothing remains for me but to assure you, in the most animated language, of the violence of my affection.
Mr. Collins?
On the matter of your small dowry, I shall be universally silent, and you may assure yourself that no ungenerous reproach shall ever pass my lips when we are married.
You are too hasty, sir. You forget that I have made no answer. Let me do it now. I thank you, and I am very sensible of the honour of your proposals, but it is impossible for me to accept them.
I have by no means lost hope. It is usual with young ladies to reject the addresses of the man whom they secretly mean to accept.
Upon my word, sir, your hope is rather an extraordinary one after my declaration. I am perfectly serious in my refusal.
But, dearest cousin, my situation in life, my connections with the family of de Bourgh, and my relationship to your own are circumstances highly in my favor. I must therefore conclude that you are not serious in your rejection of me.
Mr. Collins, I thank you again and again for the honour you have done me in your proposals, but to accept them is absolutely impossible. My feelings in every respect forbid it. Can I speak plainer?
You are uniformly charming. And I am persuaded that when sanctioned by the express authority of both your excellent parents, my proposals will not fail of being acceptable. Yes.
What? Mr. Collins! Mr. Collins!
Thank you, madame. I know when I am unwelcome. After pondering the matter, I may wish to reconsider your daughter's hand in marriage.
But Mr. Collins! Mr. Collins! Oh, Mr. Bennett! Mr. Bennett!
What is the cause of this yelling? Has someone ravaged the house?
Oh, Mr. Bennett, you are wanted immediately. We are all in an uproar. You must make Lizzie marry Mr. Collins, for she vows she will not have him. And if you do not make haste, he will change his mind and not have her.
Well, I have not the pleasure of understanding you. Of what are you talking?
Of Mr. Collins and Lizzie. Lizzie declares she will not have Mr. Collins, and Mr. Collins begins to say that he will not have Lizzie. Lizzie! Lizzie!
Come here, child. I understand that Mr. Collins has made you an offer of marriage. Is it true?
Yes.
Very well. And this offer of marriage you have refused?
I have.
Very well. We now come to the point. Your mother insists on your accepting it. Is it not so, Mrs. Bennet?
Yes, or I will never see her again.
Well, an unhappy alternative is before you, Elizabeth. From this day, you must be a stranger to one of your parents. Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. And I will never see you again if you do.
No, Mr. Bennett! Oh.
Pride. Vanity and pride are different things, though the words are often used synonymously. A person may be proud without being vain. Pride relates more to our opinions of ourselves, vanity to what we would have others think of us.
Thank you for your concern, Mary.
Jane, a letter has arrived for you.
I speak, of course, of my observance of the behavior of the men and women at the Netherfield ball last week.
Mr. Bingley.
I know not.
I shall leave you to the trifles of secular interests.
I have not heard from him for days. It is from Caroline Bingley.
Jane, what is it?
The whole party has left Netherfield by this time and are on their way to town without any intention of coming back again.
What?
I will read it to you. When Charles gets to town, he will be in no hurry to leave it again. It is evident by this time that he comes back no more this winter.
Jane, it is only evident that Miss Bingley does not mean he should.
Mr. Darcy is impatient to see his sister. The affection she inspires gives us the hope of him being hereafter our sister. It appears that Miss Bingley is perfectly convinced of her brother's indifference to me. Can there be any other opinion on the subject?
Yes, there can. Miss Bingley sees that her brother is in love with you and wants him to marry Miss Darcy.
Well, I think Charlotte is coming.
Charlotte's here. Miss Charlotte's here to come and talk to you.
I'll be fine, Lizzie. It's nothing.
With no greater events than these did January and February pass away. It is now March. Mr. Collins and my dear friend Charlotte were married and settled in Hunsford for 4 months. Other than this, the only event worth note is that Jane went with my aunt and uncle to London with hopes of seeing Mr. Bingley. But alas, as I surmised, she was only met with a cold greeting from Caroline Bingley. But I am most eager to see Charlotte again, which I am most curious to make the acquaintance of the notorious Lady Catherine de Bourgh here at Rosings.
Miss Bennet.
Lady Catherine.
Do you play and sing?
A little.
Then sometime or other we must hear you. Our instrument is a capital one, probably superior to anything you have played. Do your sisters play and sing?
One of them does.
Oh, only one. That is very strange. Has your governess left you?
We never had any governess.
No governess? How is it possible? 5 daughters brought up at home without a governess. Your mother must have been quite a slave to your education.
I assure your ladyship that has not been the case.
Miss Bennet, if I had known your mother, I should have advised her most strenuously to engage a governess.
Your ladyship is most attentive to the needs of those around.
Mr. Collins, did I tell you of Lady Metcalfe's calling yesterday to thank me? She finds their new governess a treasure. Lady Catherine, she said, you have given me a treasure.
Indeed, madam, your kindness has brightened the household of Lady Metcalfe with the most...
Are any of your younger sisters out, Miss Bennet?
Yes, ma'am, all.
All? What? All 5 out at once? The young ones out before the older are married? Your younger sisters must be very young.
Yes, my youngest is not 16. But really, ma'am, I think it would be very hard upon younger sisters that they should not have their share of society and amusement, because the elder may not have the means or inclination to marry early.
Upon my word, Miss Bennet, you give your opinion very decidedly for so young a person. Pray, what is your age?
With 3 younger sisters grown up, your ladyship can hardly expect me to own it.
Well, you cannot be more than 20, I'm sure. Therefore, you need not conceal your age.
I am not 21.
My dear aunt.
Ah, nephew. Your tardiness is unbecoming.
Begging your pardon, Lady Catherine.
Will your cousin grace us with his presence?
Yes, Mum. He is, here he is.
I hear you are acquainted with my nephew, Miss Bennet.
Yes.
He has not been here for 4 months. Not till the news of your visit, Lizzie.
Miss Bennet, I trust your family is in good health.
Yes, Mr. Darcy. In fact, my eldest sister, Jane, has been in town these 3 months. Have you never happened to see her there?
No, I have not been so fortunate. Miss Bennet, may I present to you my cousin, Colonel Fitzwilliam?
My dear Miss Bennet, it is a pleasure to meet you. Mr. Darcy has told me so much about you.
Then I am afraid you have a very ill view of me.
Oh, quite the contrary. He has nothing but praise for you.
Miss Bennet, while I prepare for dinner, you must play us a piece on the piano.
Yes, Miss Bennet, you must entertain us with a piece.
Dear Colonel, I am afraid you will be disappointed.
Indeed, I shall not. Please.
Mr. Darcy, so wonderful to make your acquaintance here in Rosings. Lady Catherine is most kind for allowing us to be in your company.
Play, Miss Bennet.
Here you are, Colonel.
I was saying to her ladyship the other day what affability she shows in her relations to those around her, especially to her neighbors. Why, in my humble lodgings in Hunsford, Charlotte?
You mean to frighten me, Mr. Darcy? But my courage always rises with every attempt to intimidate me.
I know you find great enjoyment in professing opinions which are not your own.
Your cousin is provoking me to retaliate. Such things may come out, Mr. Darcy, as will shock your relations to hear.
I am not afraid of you.
Pray, let me hear, Miss Bennet.
The first time of my ever seeing him in Hertfordshire was at a ball, where he danced no dances, though gentlemen were scarce, and more than one young lady was sitting down in want of a partner.
My word, Darcy.
I should have judged better, but I am ill qualified to recommend myself to strangers.
Why do you think this is, Colonel?
I would love to hear.
I have not the talent, which some people possess, of conversing easily with strangers.
My fingers do not move over this instrument in a masterly manner, but then I have always supposed it to be my own fault, because I would not take the trouble of practicing.
You are perfectly right. Neither of us performs to strangers.
Miss Bennet would not play at all amiss if she learned to practice more. I would have been a delightful performer, but had I taken the time to learn. Nephew, I require your presence for dinner preparations. Come, the both of you continue your leisure till I return.
I do not know anybody who seems to more enjoy the power of doing what he likes than Mr. Darcy.
He likes to have his own way very well.
I wonder why he does not bring his sister when he travels, as she is under his sole care.
Not sole care. I am joined with him in the guardianship of Miss Darcy.
Are you? And pray what sort of guardians do you make? Does your charge give you much trouble?
Why do you suppose Miss Darcy likely to give us any uneasiness?
She is a very great favourite with a lady of my acquaintance, Miss Bingley. You know her?
I know her a little. Her brother is a pleasant gentleman-like man. He is a great friend of Darcy's.
Mr. Darcy is uncommonly kind to Mr. Bingley.
Indeed. I have reason to think Bingley very much indebted to him. Darcy has congratulated himself on having lately saved Mr. Bingley from a most imprudent marriage.
Did Mr. Darcy give you his reasons for this interference?
I understood that there were some very strong objections against the lady.
But what right did Mr. Darcy have to direct in what manner his friend was to be happy?
I do not know. It is supposed that there was not much affection in her case. He only told me what I have now told you. Miss Bennet, are you all right?
I suddenly do not feel well. Perhaps I should have a rest.
Dear Lizzie.
Well, let me help you.
No, thank you. Charlotte can walk me back. Colonel, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Will you give my apologies to Lady Catherine for my abrupt leave?
Dear Charlotte, what are you doing?
Elizabeth is not feeling well. I'm taking her home.
Charlotte, Lady Catherine will be most displeased at her leaving so suddenly.
Mr. Collins, you and Lady Catherine will do whatever you want without her. Excuse us. Lizzie, may I speak to you for a moment?
Yes, Charlotte.
You realize, Mr. Collins and I know you find it impossible, because so lately he was wishing to marry you.
Well, no, but I...
That Mr. Collins should be able to procure any woman's good opinion, because he was not so happy to succeed with you.
Charlotte.
I know you would be upset, Lizzie.
Charlotte, please.
You understand, I'm 27 years old. I'm convinced that my chance of happiness with him is as fair as most people can boast on entering the marriage state. I see what you're feeling. But when you have had more time to think it over, I hope you'll be satisfied with what I've done. You see, I'm not like you, Lizzie.
Dearest Lizzie, I have spoken with Caroline Bingley again. She was most cold. She informed me that Mr. Bingley was in town and could not see me, and furthermore he may be looking to sell his lodgings at Netherfield for never more to return. I must now conclude that Mr. Bingley no longer has any affection for me.
Oh, Jane.
Miss Bennet, I trust you are in good health.
Much better.
In vain I have struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. I realize your family connections and society are inferior to my own. Those obstacles which judgment has always opposed me to inclination toward you are quite against my will and my reason. But I cannot change who I am. The strength of my attachment, which in spite of all my endeavors, I have found impossible to conquer. And I hope that it would now be rewarded by the acceptance of my hand and your consent to marry me.
In such cases as this, it is, I believe, the established mode to express a sense of gratitude. But I cannot. I have never desired your good opinion, and you have certainly bestowed yours most unwillingly. I am sorry to have occasioned pain for anyone. It has been most unconsciously done, however, and I hope will be of short duration.
And this is all the reply which I am to expect. I might perhaps inquire why, with so little endeavour at civility, I am thus rejected.
I might as well inquire why, with so evident a design of insulting me, you chose to tell me that you liked me against your will, against your reason, and even against your character. How is that for civility? Do you think that any consideration would tempt me to accept the man who has been the means of ruining the happiness of a most beloved sister? Can you deny that you have done it?
I have no wish of denying it. Your sister was indifferent to him. I did everything in my power to separate my friend from your sister, and I rejoice in my success. Towards him I have been kinder than towards myself.
But, Mr. Darcy, long before this, my opinion of you was decided. Your character was unfolded in the recital which I received many months ago from Mr. Wickham. On this subject, what have you to say?
You take an eager interest in that gentleman's concerns.
Who that knows what his misfortunes have been can help feeling an interest in him.
His misfortunes, yes, his misfortunes have been great indeed.
You have reduced him to his present state of poverty. You have withheld the advantages which you must know to have been designed for him.
And this is your opinion of me? My faults, according to this calculation, are heavy indeed. But perhaps these offences might have been overlooked had not your pride been hurt by my honest confession of the scruples that had long prevented my forming any serious design. But disguise of every sort is my abhorrence. Nor am I ashamed of the feelings I related. They were natural and just. Could you expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your connections whose condition in life is so decidedly beneath my own?
You are mistaken. You have simply spared me the concern which I might have felt in refusing you, had you behaved in a more gentlemanlike manner. I had not known you a month before I felt you were the last man on in the world that I could ever marry.
You have said quite enough, madam. I perfectly comprehend your feelings, and have now only to be ashamed of what my own have been. Forgive me for having taken up so much of your time.
What a tumult of my mind! His pride, his abominable pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will return in 5 minutes.
Lizzie, a letter for you. Come in soon, I must speak with you.
My dear Miss Bennet, it's from Mr. Darcy, hateful man. Will you do me the honour of reading this letter?
Be not alarmed, madam. It does not contain any repetition of those sentiments which were recently so disgusting to you. I must be allowed to respond to the offences you laid to my charge. I had not long been in Hertfordshire before I saw that Bingley preferred your eldest sister to any other young woman. I believed your sister indifferent.
How could you? Who doubted this? Wait.
Remember, Lizzie, that we do not know James's position as you do.
Oh.
But there were other causes of repugnance. The situation of your mother's family, though objectionable, was nothing in comparison of that total want of propriety so frequently betrayed by herself.
It is such a promising thing for my younger daughters, as James marrying so greatly must throw them in the way of other rich men.
By your younger sisters? And occasionally even by your father.
Let the other ladies have time to exhibit.
Oh dear.
To convince Mr. Bingley of your sister's indifference was not difficult. On this subject I have nothing more to say.
Of course not.
Now to the charge against Mr. Wickham.
Oh, this I need to hear.
My late father supported Mr. Wickham at school, hoping the church would be his profession. My father intended to provide for him in it. As for myself, it is many years since I first began to think of him in a very different manner. I was witness to Mr. Wickham's idleness and vice for many years. There was also a legacy of £3,000.
Darcy, do you not wish to be a clergyman? Have the intention to study the law?
I wished rather than believed him to be sincere, but the business was soon settled.
Thank you. I am much obliged.
Shortly after, he came to me having squandered the 3,000 in gambling and other vices.
Darcy, my circumstances are exceedingly bad. I'm now absolutely resolved on being ordained. If you would present me to the living in question...
You will hardly blame me for refusing him.
This must be false.
I must now mention a circumstance which I would wish to forget. My sister was left to the guardianship of my cousin, Colonel Fitzwilliam, and myself. While she was away at school, Mr. Wickham recommended himself to Georgiana. She was persuaded to believe herself in love and to consent to an elopement. She was then but 14.
This cannot be.
Mr. Wickham's chief object was unquestionably my sister's fortune, which is £30,000, but I cannot help supposing that the hope of revenging himself on me was a strong inducement. After I refused him the dowry, he quickly gave up the pursuit of my sister. This, madam, is a faithful narrative of every event in which we have been concerned together. For the truth of everything here related, I can appeal to the testimony of Colonel Fitzwilliam. I will only add, God bless you, Fitzwilliam. Mr. Darcy.
Can this be true? I have always prided myself on my discernment. Till this moment, I never knew myself.
Mamma! Mamma!
Yes, dear, what is it?
It's not fair, Mamma.
I have received this letter from Mr. Forster.
Oh, my, Mrs. Forster, what does it say?
It says, the officers are leaving for Brighton.
Oh, I remember when Colonel Miller's regiment went away. I cried for 2 days. I thought it should have broke my heart.
I'm sure it shall break mine.
Colonel Forster's wife invited me to stay with them in Brighton. They leave on Friday.
Invited you personally? Oh, my dear Lydia! What an honour to be singled out!
It is not fair. Why should I not be invited? For I'm 2 years older than Lydia.
Oh, we shall have to get you some new clothes.
May I have a new evening bonnet, Mamma?
Of course you shall, my dear.
Mamma.
Lizzie?
Mother, I must advise you not to let Lydia go to Brighton.
Why is this?
Papa, you must know all the improprieties of Lydia's general behaviour. The probability of her being yet more imprudent at Brighton, where the temptations must be greater, than at home.
My dear, Lydia will never be easy till she has exposed herself in some public place or other.
If you were aware of the very great disadvantage to us all which has befallen other young women, which has already arisen from the public notice of Lydia's unguarded manner.
What? Has she frightened away some of your lovers?
No, but our family's respectability in the world will be affected by Lydia's wild character. I must speak plainly. If you will not take the trouble of checking her, she will be the most determined flirt that ever made her family ridiculous.
The officers in Brighton will find women better worth their notice. Let us hope that Lydia's being there may teach her of her own insignificance. Now, we have a surprise for you. Your aunt and uncle are here to take you on a trip.
When?
Now.
Oh, now?
Yes, your luggage is packed. Enjoy, and do not trouble yourself with Lydia.
Pemberley.
Pemberley?
We are taking you on a trip to Pemberley, the home of Mr. Darcy. Yes, Pemberley, and the whole of Derbyshire.
Good fishing.
I grew up near Pemberley, and I believe your Mr. Wickham passed his youth there.
What a happy surprise, but I need not see Pemberley. I do tire of large houses.
If it were merely a large house, richly furnished, I should not care about it myself. But the grounds are delightful.
You know I would be contented with the country.
Oh, no objections, for I know you shall be delighted with Pemberley.
Indeed I shall.
Off we go.
To Pemberley, then.
Pemberley? Lizzie's going to Pemberley? Papa! Papa!
What is this shouting? Are the French at the door?
Lydia to Brighton and Lizzie to Pemberley? What about me? Mary, do you think this is fair?
Far be it from me, my dear sister, to depreciate such pleasures, but I confess they would have no charms for me. I should infinitely prefer a book.
Papa, it's not fair. When is my time?
Not soon enough.
And to think, of this place I might have been mistress.
You are most welcome, my lady. Will you allow me to show you around?
That would be nice.
Now, that is a portrait of my master, Mr. Darcy, and very like him.
Is Master Darcy about the house?
I am afraid not, but we expect him tomorrow.
Oh, thank God. I mean, I know that Mr. Darcy would not wish to be troubled by my being here.
Oh, does that young lady know Mr. Darcy?
A little.
Oh, a fine young man. And do not you think him a very handsome gentleman, ma'am?
And that portrait?
George Wickham, the son of my late Master Steward, who had been brought up by him at his own expense. He is now gone into the army, but I am afraid he has turned out very wild. Very wild.
Oh.
Is your master much at Pemberley?
Not so much as I could wish, sir.
If your master would marry, you might see more of him.
Yes, sir. But I do not know who is good enough for him.
It is very much to his credit that you should think so.
I say no more than the truth, and everybody will say that knows him. I have never known a cross word from him in my life. If I were to go through the world, I could not meet with a better man. But I have always observed that they who are good-natured when children are good-natured when they grow up, and he was always the sweetest-tempered, most generous-hearted boy in the world.
This fine account of him is not quite consistent with his behaviour to our poor friend.
Perhaps we might be deceived.
That is not very likely.
And that is the greatest credit to the house, my master's sister, Miss Darcy.
And is Miss Darcy as handsome as her brother?
Oh, yes, the handsomest young lady that ever was seen, and so accomplished. She plays and sings all day long. Mr. Darcy has of late fitted up a pretty parlour with more elegance and lightness than the apartments below. He did this all just to give pleasure to Miss Darcy.
He certainly is a good brother.
And this is always the way with him. Whatever can give his sister any pleasure is sure to be done in a moment. There is nothing he would not do for her.
Could we trouble you to see it?
Of course, my lady.
Mr. Darcy.
Miss Bennet, you are, I trust, you are well?
Yes, I am.
And your sisters, your family, they are well?
Yes.
Good. Miss Bennet?
Lizzie, are you coming?
We are leaving.
What do you mean?
Call the horses.
Are you ill?
What's the trouble?
It's time to go now.
I'm confused, dear.
What's the trouble?
We have overstayed our welcome, and I really must insist.
Oh, Tosh, we just arrived.
But, my dear, there's something wrong.
I insist we leave at once.
Mr. Darcy has returned, and a day early. He is happy to receive you. He only needs a moment to make himself presentable after his journey.
Forgive me for being brisk in my arrival. Miss Bennet, you are most welcome here.
Thank you. May I introduce my aunt and uncle, Mr. and Mrs. Gardiner?
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Mrs. Reynolds, would you be so kind as to show our guest the garden?
Oh, of course.
Miss Bennet?
Mrs. Reynolds
Are you staying at
informed us-
Lambton? You are staying at Lambton?
Yes.
At the inn?
Yes.
How do you find it?
Mr. Darcy, I did not know. Your housekeeper assured us you would not be returning till tomorrow.
I had planned so.
I would never have intruded had I known you would be returning.
Miss Bennet,
I know you must be terribly...
how do you like Pemberley, Miss Bennet?
Pemberley.
Is it to your liking?
My aunt and uncle like it very much.
And you?
I like it very much indeed.
The rest of my party is arriving momentarily.
Oh, why did you not arrive with them?
I rode ahead.
For what purpose?
Leisure.
Who will be joining us?
Mr. Bingley and Miss Caroline Bingley. Also, someone who greatly desires to make your acquaintance. My sister Georgiana. I wonder if I may introduce you when she arrives. I also hope you would do me the honor in joining us here tomorrow. Your aunt and uncle are most welcome, of course.
Thank you, yes.
Splendid. I shall come by with the carriage tomorrow.
Miss Bennet, Mrs. Reynolds told us you were here. What a pleasant surprise. How do you do?
Well, Mr. Bingley, thank you.
I trust your family as well.
All well, yes.
And, your sister.
Which one, sir?
Jane. How does she?
Fine. It has been a while since you have seen each other.
It is above 8 months. We have not met since the 26th of November, when we were all dancing together at Netherfield.
That is quite a memory, Mr. Bingley.
Miss Bennet, would you do me the great honor of introducing my sister, Miss Georgiana Darcy?
Miss Darcy?
Miss Bennet?
I have very much enjoyed your home.
Thank you.
You must be quite content here.
Yes.
I should think I gave quite an unpleasant shock to your brother when he found me here unexpectedly.
Unpleasant? No, not at all. He has nothing but praise for you. He has spoken of you in such high terms that, I confess, I have been most anxious to meet you. I do not know who is more excited at the surprise of you being here, myself or my brother.
Well,
Forgive me, I speak too boldly.
No, Miss Darcy, I share your excitement at meeting you.
Elizabeth Bennet! How unexpected.
Miss Bingley?
Your complexion is a bit darker than I last remember. It must be on account of your working outdoors on your father's estate.
Georgiana, I have something for you. Would all of you...
Pray, Miss Eliza, are not the militia removed from Meryton? They must be a great loss to your family.
Shall we?
It must be a great loss to you, Miss Bennet, having Mr. Wickham no longer able to visit.
Georgiana?
Miss Darcy, your brother was telling me of the parlour.
Excuse me?
The parlour. You seem confused. I only ask because I do believe your brother has something waiting there for you. Might I intrude upon you to show me?
Yes, something waiting.
Yes, a surprise.
Oh, I hope I have not ruined it.
Not at all.
Of course then. Yes, of course. Follow me.
Miss Bennet, thank you.
Mr. Gardiner, are you ready?
I'm sorry, Aunt. I am ready.
Yes, dear, but these have just arrived. They're all from Longbourn.
Oh, and all for Lizzie. Oh, she will be pleased to hear from home. Lizzie?
I'm here.
Oh, Lizzie, these have arrived for you. I know you've been waiting to hear from your sister.
Now I know why they are delayed. She wrote the address very ill.
I suggest you stay here and enjoy them while your uncle and I go for a walk. I will tell the servant to send Mr. Darcy up if he arrives before we return.
Thank you, Aunt.
We will return within the hour, dear.
Miss Jane, what caused such an unsteady hand?
My dearest Elizabeth, all is well here. Sir William had a small party last week, which was most pleasant. We've had such unusually temperate gatherings since you and Lydia have left town. Tell Aunt and Uncle that our nieces and nephews have been most delightful during their... Since writing the above, dearest Lizzie, something has occurred of a most unexpected and serious nature. Be assured that we are all well. What I have to say relates to poor Lydia. An express came at 12 last night from Colonel Forster to inform us that she was gone off to Scotland with one of his officers to own the truth with Wickham.
What?
So imprudent a match on both sides, but I'm willing to hope the best. He must know our father can give her nothing. Our poor mother is sadly grieved. Father bears it better. I must conclude, for I cannot be long from our poor mother.
No.
Dearest Lizzie, I have bad news for you. Imprudent as the marriage between Mr. Wickham and our poor Lydia would be, we are now anxious to be assured it has taken place. Colonel Forster came yesterday. Something was dropped by Denny expressing his belief that Wickham never intended to marry Lydia at all. Father and mother believe the worst. As the first shock is over, shall I own that I long for your return? Papa is going to London with Colonel Forster instantly to try to discover her.
Oh, where is my uncle?
Miss Bennet, the servant said I could...
I beg your pardon, but I must leave you. I must find Mr. Gardiner this moment on business that cannot be delayed. I have not an instant to lose.
Good God, what is the matter? I will not detain you a minute, but let the servant go after Mr. and Mrs. Gardiner.
No, I can...
You are not well enough. You cannot go yourself. You there, go and fetch Mr. and Mrs. Gardiner. They are...
I am unsure.
Check the high street. Is there nothing you could take to give you a present relief? A glass of wine? Shall I get you one? You are very ill.
No, I thank you. I am only distressed by some dreadful news which I have just received from Longbourn.
Allow me to help in any way I can.
I have just had a letter from Jane. It cannot be concealed from anyone. My youngest sister, Lydia, has left all her friends, has eloped, has thrown herself into the power of Mr. Wickham. You know him too well to doubt the rest. She has no money, no connections, nothing that can tempt him to. She is lost forever. When I consider that I might have prevented it, I who knew what he was, but it is all All too late now.
I am grieved indeed. Grieved, shocked. But is it certain, absolutely certain?
Oh, yes.
And what has been done? What has been attempted to recover her?
My father is gone to London. But nothing can be done. It is every way horrible. When my eyes were opened to his real character, wretched, wretched mistake.
I am afraid you have been long desiring my absence, nor have I anything to plead in excuse of my stay, but real though unavailing concern. This unfortunate affair will, I fear, prevent my sisters having the pleasure of seeing you at Pemberley today.
Oh, yes, be so kind as to apologise for us to Miss Darcy. Say that urgent business calls us home immediately. Conceal the unhappy truth as long as it is possible. I know it cannot be long.
You may be assured of my secrecy. I wish a happy conclusion for you. I leave my compliments for your aunt and uncle.
Goodbye, Mr. Darcy.
Oh, poor dear Lydia has nobody to take care of her. She's not the kind of girl to do such a thing if she'd been well looked after. Poor dear child. And now here's Mr. Bennet gone away. And I know he will fight Wickham whenever he meets him, and then he will be killed. What is to become of us all? The Collinses will turn us out before he's cold in his grave. And when your uncle gets to town, he must find them out wherever they may be, and if they are not married already, make them marry. No! What a dreadful state I'm in! Oh, I have such tremblings, such flutterings all over me. And Lydia must not give any directions about her clothes until she has seen me, for she does not know which are the best warehouses. Oh!
Lizzie, thank goodness you've returned.
How is it here?
Mamma's distraught. Papa went and searched for Lydia.
Yes, Uncle left us to go meet him, but I am surprised he has not yet returned.
A letter arrived this morning from Uncle by express. We have not yet opened it.
Should we not open it?
I feel it may contain information for his eyes only.
This is a most unfortunate affair and will probably be much talked of, but we must stem the tide of malice.
We must stem the tide of malice and pour into the wounded bosoms of each other the balm of sisterly consolation.
Lydia wrote Mrs. Foster a note before she ran away. Colonel Foster brought it to us.
My dear Harriet, you will laugh when you know where I am gone.
I cannot help but laughing at myself at your surprise tomorrow morning, as soon as I am missed. I am going to Gretna Green, and if you cannot guess with whom, I shall think you a simpleton, for there is but one man in the world that I love. I should never be happy without him. You need not send them a word at Longbourn of my going, if you do not like it, for it will make the surprise the greater when I write them and sign my name, Lydia Wickham.
Oh, thoughtless, thoughtless Lydia.
Unhappy as the event must be for Lydia, we may draw from this useful lesson that loss of virtue in a female is irretrievable, that one false step involves her in endless ruin, that her reputation is no less brittle than is beautiful, and that she cannot be too much guarded in her behavior toward the undeserving of the other sex.
My poor father, how he must have felt it.
He could not speak a word for full 10 minutes. Mother was taken ill immediately, and the whole house is in such confusion.
Papa has arrived.
Oh, wonderful.
There is sure to be good news.
Lydia is not with him.
Oh, Papa, what you must have suffered.
Say nothing of that. It has been my own doing, and I ought to feel it.
You must not be too severe upon yourself.
No, Lizzie. Let me once in my life feel how much I have been to blame. I am not afraid of being overpowered by the impression. It will pass away soon enough.
Do you suppose them to be in London?
Yes, where else can they be so well concealed?
And Lydia used to want to go to London.
She is happy then, and her residence there will probably be of some duration. Lizzie, I bear you no ill will for being justified in your advice to me last May, which, considering the event, shows some greatness of mind. From now on, I will sit in my library, and give as much trouble as I can. Or perhaps I may defer it until Kitty runs away.
I'm not going to run away, Papa. If I should ever go to Brighton, I would behave better than Lydia.
You go to Brighton? I would not trust you so near as Eastbourne for £50. No, Kitty? I have at last learned to be cautious, and if you will feel the effects of it all, you will. No officer is ever to enter into my house again, or even to pass through the village. Balls will be absolutely prohibited, unless you stand up with one of your sisters, and you are never to stir out of doors till you can prove that you have spent 10 minutes of every day in a rational manner. Well, do not make yourself unhappy. If you're a good girl for the next 10 years, I will take you to a review at the end of them.
Papa, a letter arrived this morning from Uncle.
Well, and what news does it bring? Good or bad?
We have not opened it.
Perhaps you'd like to read it. Read it aloud, for I hardly know myself what it is about.
My dear brother, at last I am able to send you some tidings of my niece. Soon after you left me on Saturday, I was fortunate enough to find out in what part of London they were. The particulars I reserve till we meet. It is enough to know they are discovered. I have seen them both.
And it is as I always hoped, they are married.
They are not married, nor can I find there is any intention of being so. But if you are willing to perform the engagements which I have ventured to make on your side, I hope it will not be long before they are. All that is required of you is to assure to your daughter by settlement her equal share of the £5,000 secured among your children, and moreover to enter into an engagement of allowing her in £100 per annum, and in addition the payment of Mr. Wickham's debts. These are conditions which, considering everything, I had no hesitation in complying with. Stay quiet at Longbourn and depend on my diligence and care. We have judged it best that my niece should be married from this house. She comes to us today. The terms, I suppose, must be complied with.
I'm only ashamed of his asking so little.
And they must marry?
Yes, they must marry. But there are two things I want very much to know. One is, how much money your uncle has laid down to bring it about, and the other, how am I ever to pay him?
Well, Mamma, what do you think of my husband? Is he not such a charming man? I am sure my sisters must envy me. They must all go to Brighton. That is the best to get husbands. What a pity it is, Mamma. We did not all go.
Very true. But, my dear Lydia, I don't at all like you going such a way off. Must it be so?
Oh, Lord, yes. There is nothing in that. I shall like it of all things. You and Papa and my sisters must come down and see us. We shall be at Newcastle all winter, and I dare say there'll be some balls, and I will take good care and to get good partners for them all.
Oh, I should like it beyond anything.
And then when you go away, you may leave one or two of my sisters behind with you, and I dare say I shall get husbands for them both before the winter is over.
I do not particularly like your way of getting husbands.
Lydia, let me go fetch the carriage. We shall go to Mrs. Long and her two housemaids and show them your ring.
Mamma, we must be leaving.
Nonsense. It will only take a moment.
Lizzie, I never gave you an account of my wedding, I believe. You were not by when I told Mamma and all the others about it. Are you not curious about how it was managed?
Not really.
Ha! You are so strange. We were married at St. Clement's. My uncle and aunt and I were to go together. So just as the carriage came to the door, my uncle was called away upon business. I was so frightened, for he was to give me away. But I was told that if he had been prevented from going, the wedding need not be put off. Mr. Darcy might have done as well. However, I did not hear above 1 word in 10, for I was thinking, you may suppose, of my dear
Mr. Darcy.
Oh, yes, Mr. Darcy was to come there with Wickham, you know. Oh, I quite forget. I ought not to have said a word about it. I promised them so faithfully. What will Wickham say? It was to be such a secret.
But what was Mr. Darcy doing?
If it was to be a secret, I should not say another word on the subject. You must seek no further. Right, Lizzie? But if you did, I should certainly tell you all, and then Wickham would be angry. I should get my things.
I'm afraid I interrupt your solitary ramble, my dear sister.
You certainly do.
I should be sorry indeed if it were unwelcome. We were always such good friends, sister.
True.
And so, my dear sister, I find from our uncle and aunt that you have actually seen Pimberley.
Yes.
I almost envy you the pleasure. You saw the old housekeeper, I suppose? Poor Reynolds. She was always very fond of me, but of course she did not mention my name to you.
She did.
And what did she say?
She was afraid you had not turned out well.
Yes. I was surprised to see Mr. Darcy in town last month. We passed each other several times. I wonder what he can be doing there.
As do I, Mr. Wickham.
And did you, when you were there, did you see...
I met Georgiana.
Ah. And you like her?
Very much.
When I last saw her, she was not very promising. Very glad you liked her. She turned out well.
I dare say she will. She has got over the most trying age, 14.
Did you go by the village of Kemperton?
No.
Well, I mention it because it's the living which ought to have had in the church.
Really?
I should have liked making sermons.
Indeed.
I see you question that. It is not wholly without foundation. You may remember what I told you on that point when we first talked of it.
Mr. Wickham, we are brother and sister now. Do not let us quarrel about the past.
Oh, my dear Lydia, must you leave now? When shall we meet again?
Lord, I don't know. Not these 2 or 3 past years, perhaps.
Oh, write to me very often, my dear.
You know married women have never much time for writing. My sisters may write to me. They will have nothing else to do.
Sad adieus, my dearest family, but fate ordains that dearest friends must part.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, be sure my daughter writes.
Oh, mother. As contraries are known by contraries, so is the delight of presence best known by the torments of absence.
Isn't my husband so well spoken? Mama. Aren't you, my dear?
Yes, Lydia.
Yes, yes. Very well. Be off with you.
And so, my family, man's feelings are always purest and most glowing in the hour of meeting and of farewell. Therefore, adieu.
He's as fine a fellow as ever I saw, I suppose. He simpers and smirks and makes love to us all.
I think that there is nothing so bad as parting with one's friends. One seems so forlorn without them.
This is the consequence, you see, madam, of marrying a daughter.
It is no such thing. Lydia does not leave me because she's married, but only because her husband's regiment happens to be so far off. If that had been nearer, she would not have gone so soon.
Dear aunt, you may readily comprehend what my curiosity must be to know how Mr. Darcy, a person unconnected with any of us, should have been amongst you at such a time as Lydia's wedding to Mr. Wickham. Pray write instantly and let me understand it. And my dear aunt, if you do not tell me in an honourable manner, I shall certainly be reduced to tricks and stratagems to find it out.
My dear niece, on the very day of my coming home, Mr. Darcy came to tell Mr. Gardiner that he had found out where your sister and Mr. Wickham were. Mr. Darcy's motive professed was his conviction of its being owing to himself that Mr. Wickham's worthlessness had not been so well known as to make it impossible for any young woman of character to love or confide in him. Mr. Darcy generously imputed the whole to his own mistaken pride, and confessed that he had before thought it beneath him to lay his private actions open to the world. Mr. Darcy called it, therefore, his duty to step forward and endeavour to remedy an evil which had been brought on by himself. Mr. Wickham's debts are to be paid, amounting to considerably more than £1,000. Another 1,000 in addition to her own settled upon her, and his commission purchased, all paid for by Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy attended the wedding. Dearest niece, I know your objections to Mr. Darcy, but will you be very angry with me if I take this opportunity of saying how much I like him? Yours, very sincerely, Mrs. Gardiner.
Dear God, we owe the restoration of Lydia, her character, everything to Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Bennet! Jane! Have you heard?
That would be my wife.
Mr. Bingley has returned to Netherfield.
Oh dear.
As soon as ever Mr. Bingley comes, my dear, you will wait on him, of course.
If he wants our society, let him seek it. He knows where we live.
Oh, you are looking at me, Lizzie.
I wish I could say anything to comfort you.
I shall be happy when his stay at Netherfield is over.
Mamma, look.
What is it, Kitty?
Outside the door.
Oh, hang it all, Kitty. Is Mrs. Long?
Mr. Bingley.
Mr. Bingley?
There's a gentleman with him, Mamma. Who could it be?
Oh, some acquaintance or other, my dear, I suppose. I'm sure I do not know.
Oh, that's Mr. What's-his-name, that tall, proud man.
Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy? Oh, well, any friend of Mr. Bingley's will always be welcome here, to be sure. Though I hate the sight of him.
What could Mr. Darcy possibly want here?
Mr. Bingley! Oh, my dear Mr. Bingley, do come in. It's been a long time since you went away.
Too long, madam.
Mr. Darcy?
Mrs. Bennet, I
began to be afraid you'd never come back again, Mr. Bingley. A great many changes have happened in the neighbourhood since you went away. You may have heard my youngest is recently married.
I did, madam. Congratulations.
Do you mean to make any stay in the country at present?
A few weeks, I believe.
When you have killed all your own birds, Mr. Bingley, I beg you will come here and shoot as many as you please on Mr. Bennet's manor. Your friend is welcome as well.
Mrs. Bennet, is your husband here at present?
My husband? Mr. Bennet?
Yes. He.
Oh, I believe he's in his study. Oh, of course. Let me take you to him.
Why, if he came only to be silent, grave, and indifferent, did he come at all?
Oh, yes, very indifferent. Take care, Jane.
Mary, come here.
My dear Lizzie, you cannot think me so weak as to be in danger now.
I think you are in very great danger of making him as much in love with you as ever.
Why should you wish to persuade me that I feel more than I acknowledge?
I can't hear.
Let's go outside and look in the window.
Kitty!
If you persist in indifference, do not make me your confidant.
Lizzie, stop it. Do not raise my hopes only to have them dashed again. I cannot bear the heartbreak a second time.
Fine, we shall appear indifferent together. The men shan't come and part us, I am determined. We want none of them, do we?
Jane, make haste, get your shawl, dear.
What?
Jane, dear.
Miss Bennet, may I invite you to take a walk in the garden with me?
Indifferent indeed.
Thank you. I would like that very much indeed.
Come along.
Miss Bennet.
Alone, Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, is your sister at Pemberley still?
Yes, she is.
How long will she be there?
She will remain there till Christmas.
And quite alone? Have all her friends left her? Because I would be happy.
Mrs. Reynolds is with her. The others have been gone on to Scarborough these 3 weeks.
Ah. Mr. Darcy, would you like some tea?
Tea?
Or coffee? Yes, it is no trouble.
You are very kind, but no.
I can call a servant.
You must not trouble yourself.
It really is no trouble.
I am not certain how long Mr. Bingley will be.
Of course. Well, it was worth trying, even after a first refusal.
Miss Bennet.
Mr. Darcy,
Mr. Darcy, Mr. Bingley is asking for you.
Miss Bennet.
Oh, Lizzie.
Mrs. Long!
Mrs. Bennet.
Please, please.
I should like to
In
have
the paper.
You've heard?
Could we please?
Dear Jane is to
I
be.
have pleasure in
I
thinking.
shall tell it.
You shall not.
the library.
Jane.
Yes, Jane.
It is mine to tell.
Married.
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 Bingley!
I'm the most fortunate creature that ever existed.
Please.
She'll be happily settled.
5,000 a year!
We are happy.
Why aren't all so happy?
The library.
A few balls, if you would, every winter.
I'm delighted.
What a thing for my daughter.
If there were
Jane,
such another man for you.
if I have very good luck, I may meet with another Mr. Collins in time.
All of Meryton knows.
Miss Bennet, I hope you are well.
Lady Catherine?
That lady at the door, I suppose, was your mother.
Yes, I believe so.
And the 2 young women with her, I suppose, were your sisters.
Yes, madam.
Your mother informed me that her eldest is somewhere about the grounds, walking with a young man who will soon become part of your family.
To what do I owe the pleasure of you visiting?
You can be at no loss, Miss Bennet, to understand the reason of my journey hither. Your own heart, your own conscience must tell you why I come.
Indeed, you are mistaken, madam. I have not been at all able to account for the honour of seeing you here.
Miss Bennet, you ought to know that I am not to be trifled with. But however insincere you may choose to be, you shall not find me so. I was told that not only your sister was on the point of being most advantageously married, but that you, that Miss Elizabeth Bennet, would in all likelihood be soon afterwards united to my nephew, to my own nephew, Mr. Darcy. Though I know it must be a scandalous falsehood, I'm instantly resolved on setting off for this place that I might make my sentiments known to you.
If you believed it impossible to be true, I wonder why you took the trouble of coming so far.
At once, to insist upon having such a report universally contradicted.
Your coming here will be rather a confirmation of it, if indeed such a report is in existence.
This is not to be borne, Miss Bennet. I insist on being satisfied. Has my nephew made you an offer of marriage?
Your ladyship has declared it to be impossible.
Oh, it ought to be so. It must be so, why he retains the use of his reason. But your arts and your allurements may, in a moment of infatuation, have made him forget what he owes to himself and to his family. You may have drawn him in.
If I have, I shall be the last person to confess it.
Miss Bennet, do you know who I am? I have not been accustomed to such language as this. I am almost the nearest relation he has in the world, and I am entitled to know all his dearest concerns.
But you are not entitled to know mine, nor will such behaviour as this ever induce me to be explicit.
Let me be rightly understood. This match, to which you have the presumption to aspire, can never take place. Never. Mr. Darcy is engaged to my daughter. Now, what have you to say?
Only this, that if he is so, you can have no reason to suppose he will make an offer to me.
Do you pay no regard to the wishes of his friends? Are you lost to every feeling of propriety and delicacy? Have you not heard me say that from his earliest hours he was destined for my daughter?
Yes, and I had heard it before. But what is that to me? You did as much as you could in planning the marriage. Its completion depended on others. If Mr. Darcy is neither by honour nor inclination confined to his cousin, why is not he to make another choice? And if I am that choice, why may I not accept him?
Because honour, decorum, prudence, nay, interest forbid it. You will be censured, slighted, and despised by everyone connected with him. Your alliance will be a disgrace. Your name will never be mentioned by any of us.
These are heavy misfortunes, but the wife of Mr. Darcy must have such extraordinary sources of happiness necessarily attached to his situation that she could, upon the whole, have no cause to complain.
You are an obstinate, headstrong girl. I am ashamed of you. Is this your gratitude for my attentions to you last spring? Is nothing due to me on that score? I have not been in the habit of brooking disappointment.
That will make your ladyship's situation at present more pitiable, but it will have no effect on...
I will not be interrupted. If you were sensible of your own good, you would not wish to quit the sphere in which you have been brought up.
In marrying your nephew, I should not consider myself as quitting that sphere. He is a gentleman. I am a gentleman's daughter. So far we are equal.
Yes, but who was your mother? Who are your aunts and uncles? Do not imagine me ignorant of their condition.
Whatever my connections may be, if your nephew does not object to them, they can be nothing to you.
Miss Bennet, enough. Tell me, once and for all, are you engaged to him?
I am not.
And will you promise me never to enter into such an engagement?
I will make no promise of the kind.
Miss Bennet, I shall not go away till you have given me the assurance I require.
And I certainly never shall give it. I must beg, therefore, to be importuned no farther on the subject.
Oh, I am no means done. Not so hasty, if you please. I am no stranger to the particulars of your younger sister's infamous elopement. I know it all, that the younger man's marrying her was a patched-up business at the expense of your father and uncle. And is such a girl to be my nephew's sister? Is her husband, is the son of his late father's steward to be his brother? Heaven and earth, of what are you thinking? Are the shades of Pemberley to be thus polluted?
You can now have nothing further to say. You have insulted me in every possible method. I must beg to return to the house.
You are an unfeeling, selfish girl. Do you not consider that a connection with you must disgrace him in the eyes of everyone?
I have nothing further to say.
You are then resolved to have him?
I am only resolved to act in that manner which will constitute my happiness without reference to you.
Very well. I shall now know how to act. I take no leave of you, Miss Bennet. I send no compliments to your mother. You deserve no such attention. I am most seriously displeased.
Lizzie, I have received a letter this morning that has astonished me exceedingly. As it principally concerns yourself, you ought to know the contents. This letter is from Mr. Collins.
From Mr. Collins? And what can he have to say?
Well, he begins with congratulations on the approaching nuptials of my eldest daughter, of which, but what relates to you is as follows. Let me now add a short hint on the subject of another. Your daughter Elizabeth, it is presumed, will no longer bear the name of Bennet after her elder sister has resigned it, and the chosen partner of her fate may be reasonably looked up to as one of the most illustrious personages in this land. Can you possibly guess, Lizzie, who is meant by this? But now it comes out. My motive for cautioning you is as follows. We have reason to imagine that his aunt, Lady Catherine de Bourgh, does not look on the match with a friendly eye. Mr. Darcy, you see, is the man. Mr. Darcy, Lizzie. Are you not diverted?
Oh, I am excessively diverted, but it is so strange.
Yes, that is what makes it amusing. And pray, Lizzie, what said Lady Catherine about this report? Did she call to refuse her consent?
Papa, there's a visitor.
Oh, splendid. What new opportunist is congratulating me on Jane's wedding now?
Mr. Darcy, he's here to see Lizzie.
Well, send him out.
Yes, Papa.
Lizzie, perhaps I should...
It is all right, Papa.
Well, then, a spot of port may do well. Very well, then.
Miss Bennet, you look well. I wish to express my happiness on your sister Jane and Mr. Bingley's engagement. They are well matched.
They are.
Miss Bennet,
Mr. Darcy, I am a very selfish creature. I can no longer help thanking you for your unexampled kindness to my sister. Ever since I have known it, I have been most anxious to acknowledge to you how gratefully I feel it.
I am sorry that you have ever been informed of what may, in a mistaken light, have given you uneasiness. How did you come by it?
Lydia's thoughtlessness. Let me thank you again and again in the name of all my family for that generous compassion.
If you will thank me, let it be for yourself alone. Your family owes me nothing. Much as I respect them, I believe I thought only of you. You are too generous to trifle with me. If your feelings are still what they were last April, tell me so at once. My affections and wishes are unchanged, but one word from you will silence me on this subject forever.
My feelings. Oh, my feelings have undergone. They are, since then, completely changed.
Completely.
Completely.
Well then.
Yes.
Lady Catherine did not frighten you off then?
You have heard.
It taught me to hope as I had scarcely ever allowed myself to hope before. I knew that had you been absolutely decided against me, you would have acknowledged it to Lady Catherine frankly and openly.
You know enough of my frankness to believe me capable of that, after abusing you so abominably to your face.
What did you say of me that I did not deserve? My behavior to you at the time was unpardonable. I cannot think of it without abhorrence. Your reproof I shall never forget. Had you behaved in a more gentlemanlike manner, you know not how those words have tortured me.
I had not the smallest idea of their ever being felt in such a way.
The turn of your countenance I shall never forget. As you said, that I could not have addressed you in any possible way that would induce you to accept me.
Oh, do not repeat what I then said.
And then my letter. Did it soon make you think better of me? Did you, on reading it...
You must learn some of my philosophy. Think only of the past, as its remembrance gives you pleasure.
With me it is not so. Painful recollections will intrude which ought not, to be repelled. I have been a selfish being all my life. As a child I was taught what was right, but I was not taught to correct my temper. I was given good principles, but left to follow them in pride and conceit. Unfortunately an only son, for many years an only child, I was spoilt by my parents, who, though good themselves, encouraged, almost taught me to be selfish and overbearing, to care for none beyond my own family circle, to think meanly of all the rest of the world. Such I was, and such I might still have been but for you, dearest, loveliest Elizabeth.
Good gracious! Lord bless me, Mr. Darcy. Who would have thought it? But is it really true? Oh, my sweetest Lizzie, how rich we shall be! 10,000 a year! Oh, what will become of me? I shall go distracted. He is as good as a lord.
Lizzie, what are you doing? Are you out of your senses to be accepting this man? Have you not always hated him?
Once, perhaps.
I have given him my consent, but let me advise you to think better of it. I know your disposition, Lizzie. He is rich, to be sure. But will that make you happy?
Have you any other objection than your belief of my indifference?
Oh, let me not have the grief of seeing you unable to respect your partner in life. We all know him to be a proud, unpleasant sort of man, but, Lizzie, this would be nothing if I knew you really liked him.
I do. I do like him. I love him. Indeed, he has no improper pride. He is perfectly amiable. How earnestly I wish that my former opinions had been more reasonable. You do not know what he really is. He is the most humble and selfless man I know.
Well, my dear, I have no more to say. If this be the case, he deserves you. I could not have parted with you, my Lizzie, to anyone less worthy.
Thank you, Papa.
Yes, well, be off with you. And if any young men come for Mary or Kitty, send them in. I'm quite at leisure.
My father missed me exceedingly. He delighted in coming to Pimberley, especially when he was least expected. Happy for all her maternal feelings was the day on which my mother got rid of her two most deserving daughters. Mr. Bingley and Jane bought an estate in a neighbouring county to Derbyshire, within 30 miles of Pemberley. Kitty, removed from the influence of Lydia's example, became less irritable, less ignorant, and less insipid. Though Kitty and Mary did grow a little closer, Mary was my only sister who remained at home. As for Wickham and Lydia, they were always spending more than they ought, and his affection for her soon sunk into indifference. Hers lasted a little longer. Miss Bingley was very deeply mortified by Darcy's marriage, but as she thought it advisable to retain the right of visiting at Pimberley, she dropped all her resentment, was fonder than ever of Georgiana. Pimberley was now Georgiana's home, and my attachment with her was exactly what Darcy had hoped to see. Though at first she often listened to me with an astonishment, by my instructions she began to comprehend that a woman may take liberties with her husband which a brother will not always allow. Lady Catherine was extremely indignant on the marriage of her nephew, and my mother visited Pimberley with delight and pride. But it is a funny thing about marriage. Mr. Darcy is no longer considered the rightful property of some one or other of their daughters. He is mine.
Okay, cameras on, everyone. Yay, bravo, yay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Special thanks to Haley Buyermeister for helping me put this crazy thing together, and to Sarah Jane Willett, Donald Colon, and the incredible Jonathan Moonen for making their debut tonight, and of course the incredible, incomparable Mariana Degorski, who is currently in the UK, who gave up a night of sleep to come join us. We will be back on June 5th for Pygmalion, starring Brian E. Sparrow as Eliza Doolittle, and another Matthew Brenner, another UK actor. That will be our first matinee at 2 p.m. on June 5th. Have a good night, everybody.